friends, welcome back. Carrie with Homestead by the Highway, and today I am outside. It's really gloomy, but we're going to pot up the seeds that we planted several weeks ago. It is time to put these into some bigger pots, not all of them, but we're definitely going to do the zucchini up front, maybe a couple of others. The other ones we're going to wait until next week. They need a little more time. Definitely the green peppers are way behind, so we're going to give them some more time in this tray. And the highway is super busy on this Sunday, so hopefully you can hear me, and I will try to knock some of that noise down in the back, or you may get this all as me talking over the whole video. So come along and let's get these potted up really quick. All right, so a few weeks ago I talked about I'm not putting boiling water in my soil when I put it in the seed trays. I found out why we should do that. It is definitely a matter of killing off the bugs that may have grown in that bag before you got it into your home. I had a friend who had an aphid problem because she didn't put boiling water into her soil. So I did put some boiling water in here. I always put hot water, but not necessarily boiling. But we boiled it today. So I've got just these generic little pots that I picked up in like a pack of 50 or something like that for a couple of dollars on Marketplace. And they have really big holes in the bottom. And because they're so flimsy, I'm going to double them. And I'm just going to spin the holes so that there can be a little drainage, but it's not going to let all the dirt run out really quick. And the potting soil I'm using, like I said, I did add hot water to it, and it actually is too wet and too hot. So I'm going to add some dry mix to it. I just have an organic potting soil. I don't have a favorite yet. I'm not loyal to anybody yet. I buy kind of, today it was what was available. This was the only organic potting soil that our local big box store had. I thought I had a couple bags out in the shed and I didn't. So I had to go and buy some just a little bit ago. So be sure if you're adding hot water to your mix that you leave yourself a little bit of soil in case you add more water, because otherwise you're going to have to wait a really long time for it to dry out. You want the soil moist so that way when you do water the plant, the water absorbs. If you water from the top, it'll just sit on the top and pool, almost as if it's waterproof. So with these pots, like I said, I need to twist these a little bit. I think these are the most generic pots on the planet, but that's all right. They'll work for this year. I'm only potting the zucchini into these bigger ones. Everything else can go into something smaller, like a solo cup or something like that when those are ready to pop up. I just feel like the zucchini is going to just continually grow like crazy. So I've got my zucchini squash here, and these cells in this type of tray that I bought do not tear apart fully. So I can't, oh, I just broke that one off. Darn it. So I'm just pinching these a little bit from the bottom. You don't want to pinch your plants ever by this part here. You always want to pull them by the leaf to get them out. And in pulling them out, you can see it's got some good roots on it, and mine is crumbling. I had somebody ask me a question about that, so mine is not totally sticking to the roots, but I didn't pack these in a ton to begin with. Pull up one of these pots, set it here. I'm gonna create a little hole in there. Put him down in there. And then this dirt is still really moist. We're just gonna set them in like that. And I'm going to move him to a new tray because he's not going to fit in that one. I'm going to see what happened to this guy here. Oh, I'm so bummed. All right, so we're going to try to plant him anyways. Just because. We are not big zucchini squash eaters. The fact that I'm even planting this is kind of funny. I am not being gentle with him at all because I see I just broke off one of his original leaves. He will be our experiment. I did decide to plant this though because you can add shredded zucchini and stuff like that to a lot of dishes and not even notice there's zucchini in it. And I don't mind zucchini bread. I'm gonna pull these out. These guys. I did not water these yesterday or today knowing that I was doing this because I didn't want them to be flooded, but I'm almost regretting that now. Needless to say, I planted 6, hoping to get a couple. The fact that I'll have extra, I will just gift them to somebody that has the space to grow them. I don't have enough space to actually grow 6 full zucchini plants. So for those of you who've grown zucchini before, what do you do with all of your extra? People on my pages are like, you can only give away so much zucchini. And that friends and family can only eat so much as well. So I planted 6. It appears that only 5 actually germinated. I have an empty cell in here, which looks like that might be the seed right there, which is okay. So we'll have those empty. We'll leave them empty for a little while, and maybe I'll try to pop some flowers in there once I get some of this other stuff out. Just wondering if I may just cut this off so that I can spread these out a little bit more. We're going to give these other guys another week, or maybe it'll be nice enough to do them one night this week, and I will get these cucumbers here, and I have cucumbers here that could all be potted up. My tomatoes, those can probably all be potted up as well in the next few days. So we'll give them some love and let them go. And I am going to go ahead and grab some of these out of here. This one has 2 in it. So we are going to pull them out. So this one has 2, which is fine. I'll just carefully separate them. Oh, they smell just like cucumbers should. Oh, yummy. Several of these I planted too on purpose. I'm going to get going to tuck him right back in here for right now until I go find another container. All right, so here's the beginning of our potting up. We got a few cucumbers, we got our squash out, and we're going to get these into the house. I pot up sometimes. Last year I kind of did most of it all at the same time. This year I'm got to go a little slow because I have more plants and I don't have all the space once they get into this size container. So the other ones will go in more like solo cups, so I'll be able to get a whole tray into those. Hopefully on a better day, or we'll do it up on the porch with a little less highway noise. All right, so I've relocated myself, if you see that last little clip, because I have a wasp nest out here that I didn't know about. We're going to try to get this video in. There's a lot of traffic going by on the highway, but I am transplanting my Rutgers tomatoes today. We're out in the sunshine, and tomatoes are very unique in that you want to actually bury them all the way up to the first leaves. I'm going to put just a little bit of dirt down in the bottom. These are just generic solo cups that I have drilled holes into the bottom because these are going to stay inside. They are not ready to be outside here in Michigan. And when we planted these seeds, we put several seeds per cell. So I ended up with 3 plants. So I'm going to pick the strongest of all my plants and only transplant those because I don't need all of these. Some will be gifted anyways. So we're going to just kind of pull them apart and then use the ones that are going to be the strongest. So if you didn't do your own starts and you go to the nursery, when you look inside of the cells, look to see, because you may get a bonus plant if you're actually buying them from the store. I do have another cell of 6 in the house that I can pull the strongest plants from. So some of these I'm not going to go ahead and plant, and we're going to, like I said, just plant the strongest ones. So for these, I'm going to put them in the pot, and I'm going to bury it up to dirt, right up to those top 2 leaves. Y'all, I don't mind bugs, and I don't mind things, but the big black hairy spiders, I think they call them wolf spiders here in Michigan, they are not, I'm not a fan. I made a promise to myself I wouldn't lose track of my tomatoes this year. Last year I got so busy planting so many varieties all at the same time that I didn't keep track of what was what. So this year I was going to even label the cups before I filled them, and I didn't. But these are Rutgers. And I am just going to write it right on the cup. I did have a handful that didn't make the cut, so these will just go out to the compost. So I am going to transplant 3 of the cucumbers into this bigger pot. These 2, look at all the roots on these. And they're still white, so they're healthy. So I'm just going to carefully try to, I'm not going to unravel them. I'm going to have to break them a little bit. That's why I'm going to put 3 in the same pot in case one of these doesn't make it. So this one was in a cell all by itself, so it came out, and you can see it doesn't have as many roots because there was just one that actually germinated. And I believe, I'll have to look at a previous video or a photo. These might have been, these could be from M.I. Gardener, or these could be from the Dollar Tree. So I put a little soil in the bottom, and I'm just going to give them a little bit of space. This is my favorite thing in the garden is cucumbers. Like, I wish that there was a better way to store them as a cucumber for longer, because I would grow all cucumbers and nothing else. I don't turn them into pickles. I literally take them off the vine, take them in the house, and eat them. I am going to bury a little bit of the soil, or the stem, down into the soil. I'm not going to go right up to the leaves at this point. They're pretty hardy and will probably do just fine, but I want to give some of that stem still some room. All right, friends, 2 days of up-potting my plants. We'll take them back inside, get them taken care of. Thank you for joining me on this adventure as I am learning to garden and trying to share what I know with you. And don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I would love to have you follow the channel as we do other things. I've got some garlic growing that we're going to go check on. I'm going to be sharing an order from Azure. It's A-Z-U-R-E, a company that I order some bulk food items from. I get the smaller quantities because there's only 2 of us here, but I'll share those with you and things that I get from them, the products that I love. And thank you again. This means the world to me, and glad we had a day of sunshine. Have a great day.